Hi YouTube, welcome back to Wtf Rc Cars. So, just like to give you a bit of an update on the Kamtec, what I like, what I don't like, how it handles. So, basically, built this as in out the box, used the stock wheels and tyres, and to be honest, it were pretty awful. Even with the big wing on back, the back end, it were just switching around on all corners. Used the proper grip stuff that we use for this track and foams, and I wasn't really impressed with it. Did a bit more tuning, freed this back up quite a lot, kind of made it a little bit better, but still really underwhelming. And I'll put a few of the lap times up. So we'd got the first qualifier that I think halfway through race, or might not have even been halfway, I just told one of the marshals, just take it off at track. It was spinning around that bad, it was going to end up either damaging this car or damaging somebody else's and ruining their practice. And I just wanted to get it off at track. It was absolutely awful. Then we sort of took some of the tension out of the springs on back, made this really soft. For the next qualifier, that did improve things a little bit, but still not really competitive with the rest of Kamtecs on the track. Third qualifier at final, again, did marginally better, but I was really struggling with it. Really weren't impressed. Now, when it came to switching out for these wheels and tyres, so we've got the wheels and tyres that are shown fitted in the last video, the Schumacher contacts, and as soon as we took it out on track, night and day difference. First qualifier, felt a lot more confident in it. I was just learning the limitations of it, and I think if we look on the actual qualifying times, I think the first and second qualifying race, James was running his Tamiya C11 with a sports tune motor in it. So technically should have been way quicker than what these little Kamtecs are doing with the 27 turn motor in. But it was kind of holding its own. When we got to the second qualifier, I was getting much more to grips with it, finding the limits of the grip on the tyres and how it would handle, and not losing the back end at all. The combination of this wing and these tyres worked absolutely amazing. By the time we got into the third qualifier, I was really enjoying it. Started putting some really more respectable lap times in, and then the A final did really well. Literally, the only time that I crashed in the final was when one at Marshall's accidentally run across track and he put his foot straight in front of my car and spun it round. But other than that, I think we probably could get 31 laps or more in. If we don't get stopped or anything on it. The few different changes I've done is obviously the wheels and tyres, and then I've cut a Tamiya foam bumper down just to make it fit, just to give this body shell a bit of help. But yeah, certainly with these Schumacher tyres, this body shell wing combination works absolutely fantastic, and a hell of a lot of fun for not a lot of money. When you're looking at these kits, I think they're around about 80 quid foot kit, 20 quid foot speed controller, £10 foot motor, and then the servo, what we're running this in, I think it were about £40, but you'd get away with a far cheaper one if you wanted. Again, I'm running the Noble Pro with the FGR4S. But it'd be just as much fun running it with the G7P. You'd probably lose a bit on the latency, but unless you're really pushing it, you're not going to know. But certainly the MB4 would be absolutely fine for it. But yeah, it's with the correct tyres, these are an awful lot of fun. Definitely something I could recommend to a beginner. With it being rear wheel drive, possibly a little bit more difficult to learn than say a TT02 or TT01 of the Tamiya cars, but you could save a lot of money on your car and spend it on the likes of getting an MB4 instead of a cheap 80 quid controller, buy a £160 controller, and you're going to have as much fun with this as you are with the Tamiya, if not more. But just my thoughts, and keep you guys up to date, and just whether I actually like it or would recommend it. But yeah, proper solid car, dirt cheap for spares, dirt cheap to get into racing, and a hell of a lot of fun. But thanks again for watching Wtf Rc Cars. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, share to friends and family, and catch you guys again in the next one.